explore ChatGPT. We'll learn how ChatGPT works and whether it is able to solve easy, medium, and complex problems or not. This way, we'll try to understand whether ChatGPT is actually smart or not. To explore ChatGPT, I have created a set of 3 examples. I'm not going with any online available questions, but I've created my own set of questions. So I have written all the questions in clear text. So I have 3 question 1, 2, and 3, and for each question I have written my own version of code as well, and just to give a proof that everything is working fine, I have taken 3 questions. Question 1 is easy, another is also easy but little more complex than the easier one. The third one is little more complex than the previous one. Easy and kind of medium 3 questions I have taken. So if we talk about the very first question, I have written in very clear text. Let us read this about for a given value example dictionary where each key is a person name and value is set of age and country of the person. Write a program in Python to sort dictionary based on country. Example input, we can see that person 1 belongs to US, person 2 belongs to Canada, person 3 belongs to Australia, and they are in kind of not a sorted order. So we have to sort, we have to get an expected output where the person should be sorted based on their country name. For example, Australia come first, then in Canada, then USA. So something like that we need. So I have written a code for this, easy code for this. I have used sorted, and with the help of lambda I have just simply sorted it and returning it. So for this given data input, US, Canada, and Australia, and if I run simply this code, then I see that Australia, Canada, and US, I get it sorted based on the output is sorted based on the country name what is given. So this is my code which is actually working perfectly fine. So same text which is very clear, same text I am going to print on the ChatGPT chat box and see what code it returns. So let us go there and let me put it. Example is also there, clear text is also there, and let us enter. We'll see it gives some sort of information how it is going to approach the question, then it will give the code snippet, and also then it gives how it gives some examples or something like that. So it is taking example, then sorted list, sorted date, and then one. There can be several versions which can be tweaked in this questions input, like person's age and country name, the order that can be swapped or something like that. But now for simplicity, let's take this example as it is. Now if I try this particular code, I copy code and go to my PyCharm, and in ChatGPT section, if I run this code, the first line will be mine and second print will be there. If I print it, so it is exactly same as of mine. So that means, at least for this example, chatbot is working perfectly fine, and ChatGPT is smart, quite smart to give you exact code snippet. That's really nice, and also given kind of the suggestions and kind of documentation what it's trying to do, something like that. Let us jump on the other question next. So what other question I have created is example 2. In this example I have a ping results file. So if you ping google.com, then you get this kind of output. I have set into some particular file. There are just 10 lines. So here I want to calculate max outage. So in my particular case, max outage is defined with the packet sequence number. Let's say after 4 there is 3 packet miss, and after that 7 sequence is going. So that is in this particular section there is 3 packet gap. 3 is the outage. Next 7 to 9 there's 2. So next, what I have written the code for this is, first of all I have written clear text. We can read out this clear text. Ping results are saved to file ping results.txt. Write a code in Python to find out max outage, where max outage is difference of two consecutive packet sequence number. Assumption: each packet line in the file is in below given format. So I have given the format as well in the input. So my code, what I have written, like I will open ping result file, and from the first line, not from the 0th line, from the first line, 0th line will be kind of used for the comparison. We will do comparison in the pair of two lines. So from first line we'll do comparison like this, from here to here. If there is gap, here to here. If there is gap, here to here. If there is gap, there is some outage. So that I am calculating based on the ICMP request. I am just splitting it at the layer. Actually I'm just trying to find out 1 and 2, something like 2 and 3, 4 and 7, and try to calculate the difference between them, and that's what I'm returning as a part of max outage. And just also calculating whether which is the max, or whatever is the max, I'm just trying to print that. So let me try to run this code and see for this particular given ping example file whether my max outage 3 is returning or not. Let me write it. Yeah, so I'm getting 3. And let's quickly print this whole question, paste this whole question in ChatGPT box and see. No, not here. Let's try create a new one, new chat. Where is that? Okay, I'll create a new chat and I'll try to paste all my question here and see what it gives as part of result. So it will give some good documentation as well. So whatever it is doing, it is just try to simply code it with open. So far looks like things are going good. So if we try to see what they are doing, although they are writing what they are doing, they are all writing complete the steps what they are doing. But if we see the code what they are trying to do, previous sequence is 0, and current sequence is also 0. Max out is 0 from line. Every line what they are doing, they are splitting words after the from words to words. Okay, if last, if ICMP sequence is there, then they will take the latter part of that and see. Let's try this code. Let's try this code here and see whether this works or not. They have written some, every layer they have written documentation as well. So if I run this code, the first result will come mine, next result will come from them. So if I try to run it, so they are giving exact same output what I am expecting. So far things looks like working. If I see the code, they are opening it. Okay, we are checking, they are whether checking if word is starting with ICMP sequence, and then so this is complete 9 characters. So after 9 character, whatever the value is there, they are just taking it, the sequence number, current sequence, previous sequence will be the previous sequence. Okay, current sequence and the previous sequence, whatever the previous sequence, next time the previous sequence will become the current sequence. Okay, fine. So for the code also seems fine. So I can see with the given text statement, text question, they are able to understand the question, and also they are able to give you the exact result which is expected. So far from example 1 and example 2, I am quite sure that ChatGPT is very smart. It is smart, and it is very smart. From the example 1 we can say it is smart. From example 2 we can say it is very smart. Next, let us try to move on to example 3. So what is example 3? Example 3 is little more complex than the first and second. Logically it is little more complex than the example 1 and 2. So example 2, what I have written the whole question here, and also I have given my own version of code, and also I have tested this whole of my code with the lot of input sequence, and also I have validated it. It's not just written just like that, but also I have validated it. So the question, if I read out the question is little complex than the previous ones. The question is basically, there is a tunnel. I will read out the text as well, but before that I'll just explain how what we are trying to do in this question. And there's one person which needs to travel through a tunnel from here to here. He needs to travel. Tunnel starts a gate, and also at the end of the tunnel there is a gate. At the beginning and at the end there is a gate, and in between there can be n number of gates, which is also as part of input. Like the question tells you that okay, n number of n number of gates are there in this tunnel. So person starts here and comes out from here. You need to kind of calculate the travel time from here to here. We need to calculate total travel time, but the catch here is basically these gates, all the gates open for some time. All the gates at the same time will open for some time, and after that they will close for some time, then again open for some time, then again close for some time. So these cycles will keep on repeating. So for example, the person reaches at the gate 1, and immediately it opens. For example, it is a assumption that when person reaches the first gate will always be open. So when person reaches the gate 1, it's open immediately. He will travel from gate 1 to gate 2. From gate 1 to, all gates are equal distance, at this equal distance. From one gate to another gate, the total travel time is k. If person travels from here to here, at that time, if gate is closed, then person has to wait, and we have person has to wait until the gate is opened. Once gate is opened, then we'll start traveling again. In the meantime, the gates will independently keep on opening and closing based on their given time. Like they will open for, let's say, O minutes, then again they will close for C minutes, then again open for O minutes, something like that. So whole thing what I explained here is written in this question. So I'll just read out this question. The text are very clear. A person need to pass through a tunnel. Tunnel has a number of equal distant gates. At beginning of the tunnel there is a gate, also there is a gate at the tunnel end. Person travels at the constant speed and takes k minutes to reach from one gate to another. All gates open at same time for O minutes, and after that all gates close for C minutes, and this cycle repeats. That means all gates open at same time for O minutes and closes for C minutes, and then again open for O minutes, and so on and so forth. If a person reaches at a gate which is closed currently, person has to wait until gate is opened. So write a program to calculate total time for a person to pass through a tunnel. Give this assumption, like let's assume the person starts at 0 minute and also opens at 0 minute. So basically this last line tells that When person reaches at gate 0, immediately the gate is also opened. So for this, let us try to, I have written the code here. Total travel time I have calculated by my own, and for a set of inputs, expected output should be this I have written, and it's also validated. So let's try to, logic wise I'm not going to much details about this. One can read this. Let me just try to copy this whole ChatGPT, let's whole text to the ChatGPT, and let me open a new chat and paste it and see what results we get from here. Okay, so it started coding immediately, and it will also give the good amount of documentation, and also it will explain the later. So let us see how it does. It is also trying to add a couple of inputs, and they are going to explain what they are doing. So before they are going, I'll just copy this code and go back to my PyCharm. In ChatGPT code section, what I'll do is simply paste this, and what I'll do, I'll it is taking NKOC, and also I'm taking NKOC as input, so order is same exactly. So what I'll do, I'll take whole by input here, and I'll just replace this with their function name, and first it will print 4 items of my code, and after that it will print 4 items of ChatGPT code. Let's try to run it. So first 4 are mine: 22, 20, 18, 16. After that we are getting 52, 19, 22 and 12, which is completely wrong. Then what should we should get? So it is giving us just segregate it. Just to segregate it, I'm just trying to add one empty print line. Let me rerun it and see. See, first 4 are mine, which is working perfectly fine. Later on 52, 19, 22 and 12, which is completely wrong. That means ChatGPT is not working as expected with this particular example. So with this example I conclude that ChatGPT is smart, ChatGPT is very smart, but ChatGPT is so far is not super smart. So it is not as smart as human beings. So we should not worry about our jobs. They cannot replace our jobs with ChatGPT. Thank you.